Hello, hello,
Hello, hello.
and welcome to ESO with Sephiroth TX. We are back in the Dominion with our little Khajiit. We are near the Fallen Nasty Winter site still. The last thing we did was help oust the, we helped get the Rajin's mantle. We have a few things to do over here. We have to pick up some stones for a nice lady over here. Looks like the Lord's over here. I don't think that's useful for my character, though. We also missed this right here. Whatever this is a city, and we completely missed it. So we'll be visiting that as well, before we move on, at least. I don't know how much there is to do before we move on here. There isn't a ton it looks like we missed. But we need to go do the jeweler in Carmont to do with, the cursed jewel around our neck, or in our person. We have to give Anthros his whatever he had. We had to tell him that his supplies were full of crap and bugs. I don't know if we picked up anything for him. Say we deliver something? And we just gotta talk to him. But first, let's go get this, because this stuff is right next door. I think we need to go down to the coast to do this, though. Gotta watch out for some trolls. Picking up another character after playing one character and then not playing this one for a while, especially in this more rare version of me playing, feels a little weird. They all play different styles. Also, hello, you probably didn't expect me here tonight. So, what happened, as you know, I got COVID tested, and we were waiting 48 hours, right? No, for some reason it's been days. This is now... Got tested Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Third day waiting, and no results. My only assumption... What the hell is this? A treehouse? Is it a good guy, a bad guy? Weird, but cool. Also... Oh, it's a dead tree. I was about to say, I'm not sure they would appreciate you carving the tree out, but the tree's already dead. If it was natural, it'll probably be okay. Anyway, so, I can't go back to work. And tomorrow I have off for a doctor's appointment anyway, so we're here playing. We'll play some Fortnite tomorrow midday, most likely. I have some stuff I have to do in the morning, some Zoom meetings, along with the doctor, who hopefully can get me some information on what's going on with my tests. Got an inadvertent week off. Teach me to ever test for code ever again. Where are we? Okay, there's a book over here, hold on. Oh, frick cat, you scared the shit out of me and I backed out of the book. I was actually going to read that one. Stupid cat. Stupid cat, you make me look bad. You know what, that's a reference to the new Watch Good cartoons. And or just old. Technically, the first one's out here. Let's go out here. I also need to color this mask when I get back into Elden Root. Oh, it's like a sky shard or something underneath. That's actually nice and pretty. Oh, look here. Found something. This is a center fragment of whatever the hell we're collecting. Oh, I'm also full up on crap. Okay, well, we're in a safe spot. Let's check our crap. 27, no, toss it. Yeah, just toss it. Head. Heavy, how much? 28, 25. None of these are good. 21, toss. Toss, keep you to sell. Nada. Nah. Yeah, just toss you, don't really need you. Ooh, wait. Up in Magicka, down in hell. Up in resistance. How much down in hell? Not a lot. Armor is up by 300? 400 almost? Almost over 400. Also, it's ornate, so it's worth a lot. Oh, it's not that much. I'm gonna wear it instead. You are not even worth money. You have my originals? I've been wearing my originals this entire time. I don't think so. Well, since you're not worth money, I'm just gonna throw you away. Sorry, dude, I'm just gonna throw your shoes away, nerd. Okay, I think we're good. Good to go. What is my inventory at now? 6470. Still got quite a lot of bullshit in there. I gotta check out what we're doing. So, how's y'all's week? Is this as weird as mine? Gotta say, being stuck at home is kind of make me antsy. So I spent a whole week with my son. We've been kind of quarantined. He can't get away from me. That was fun. We got to watch Bumblebee today. I actually hadn't seen it yet. I saw a bit of it one day, and I was like, we should watch it together as family. So me and my son watched it, sat down and watched it. Good movie, by the way. If you haven't seen Bumblebee, I recommend it. Really good movie. Hey, wait, there's also a sky shard over here. I could probably just go in the first person mode. There seems to be no dangers around here. What is that? Is that a player or a character? That's a player running around like that. Hello. Forgot to do that. People have been hearing me talk. What the fuck did they piss off? Is there a boss out here? What was that all about? Weird. Did I do that? Did she do that? That definitely was not a boss. That wasn't just one of those random vampire attacks that actually turned me into a vampire, is it? Please. Ew. What's the lever do? Penetration. Penetration. Giggity giggity. Oh god, the kids won't know what giggity giggity means anymore. Huh? Woo. How the hell do I get back up there? That's your growly face. Yeah, I know I have to go talk to this lady, but I have to find my way back to the road. This road over here near this area. Jesus. Fuck it. Let's get in a fight, shall we? Thinking, really? Thinking he came to the wrong house. Is that everything? It's like a setup. It's like a dead guy. Sure, why not? Cat. You don't like water, you're a cat. Now, was this a light or a medium I picked up? Ugh, a light. Just toss it in the river. Give a dark cat to play with or whatever. Pink. We're at a city. That's right, this is that city that had Cold Harbor all in it. Some Dremora still appearing outside, man. Some surges. Not safe. Ah, back in the rainforests. It'll feel weird once we leave the rainforest, won't it? Just a little. The sounds here remind me of that one planet off Star Wars, and then okay, and then that guinea pig sounds. I don't know this. Indoor. Jeez, I can't remember Indoor's name. Oh. Ooh. Can I go in here without fighting the freaking Nereids? I guess not. They're so loud. Okay, they did. Sneak just in case the boss decides to come out and investigate what the hell that was all about. Hey, researcher lady, where the hell are you? Oh, put your weapon away. Oh, that was your freaking blade you brought out. Okay.
You return. Did you have any luck finding the remaining fragments?
This one found these. I hope it's enough.
Enough? This is more than I even dreamed of. I think this might even allow me to piece together the complete tablet. Variations in the runes, slightly altered.
One moment, I'm
structure.
going to adjust my hair.
Yes,
Listen to her.
yes, this is very exciting.
I got a body of 8 pauldrons. Pauldrons usually heavy.
A find like this is incredibly rare. It could greatly advance our understanding of the Valenwood Aliens and their unique dialect. I must begin translating immediately.
What's so special about these fragments?
Everyone knows the aliens left many secrets behind. And the more we understand about them, the more we learn about what remains. Their language is part of this. And as the aliens migrated and split, variations of their language emerged.
And you're studying one of these variations?
Correct. We already know there were cultural differences between the aliens of Cyrodiil and those that settled in Valenwood. Their language varies too, and is less understood than the more common Cyrodiilic. Any writing we find here is significant.
Glad to have helped. You're making poisons? Enchanting poisons? Poisonous enchantments, yes. Okay, actually, if we head straight, we should be able to get to rare imports. So let's take the less beaten path, shall we? Hopefully there aren't anything weird. Really? What was that? Also, I have Tamriel above. I'm a little cautious because of that sound I heard. Tamriel below. Tamriel over here.
I still can't believe it's all gone. What are we going to do?
Get over it.
Sorry, friend. If you're here for goods, I'm afraid my supply has run dry. I was researching the Kwama in Burroot Mine, but I had to abandon everything. Even my research was left behind in that mine.
Maybe this one could help.
Ha! You make it sound so simple. I couldn't ask you to do that. The mine is overrun with aggressive Kwama and packs of vicious thunderbugs. It's too dangerous.
Let this one worry about the danger. Where should he look?
It's your neck, I guess. Burroot Mine isn't far, just at the bottom of the waterfall. But my campsite was deep inside the mine, near the bottom, where the Kwama nests were. That's where I left the notes.
This one will find
Thank
him.
you. It will mean a lot to me to have my notes back at least. Be careful. Aggravated Kwama are dangerous, to say nothing of the thunderbugs.
Yeah, nothing. What road you from the
An
mines?
infestation of thunderbugs. In 20 years studying the Kwama, I'd never seen anything like it. In the span of a single night, the whole mine was overrun. There's nothing to be done about it now.
Can't you drive the thunderbugs back out?
It wouldn't do any good now. Most of my Kwama were killed. The rest are extremely aggressive now that their nest has been breached. Still, I'll at least get one good chapter out of this, right? Night of the Thunderbugs. Well, the title needs work.
Night of Thunder. You got the bugs. That was a troll. That was a werewolf. It was a troll, right? That's okay. This cat doesn't want to be a werewolf anyway. This Kajiti Kitty wants to be a vampire. Laquamas. The Rukwama mine. Expectorants often try to bring beloved aspects of their culture with them when they immigrate, so it was with Livian and Veritol, the Narcissus and Morrowind, tried to establish a Kwama mine in Grathwood. Okay. Tried. Oh, there it is. I dealt you with your kind back on my island. Oh, that's gonna be a blocked off one, and then you go around. Of course. What are y'all after? Let's get your empty. Just chewing on the wood. I think someone's been in here. Oh, that's just dead comics and other bugs. Huh. Why not? Sell them. What was that weird negative noise I was getting? I hear walking in my right ear. If y'all could just stay back until I'm done. Yeah. Let me. Goodbye, little cool. I meant lightning bug. Ooh. Ow. What? Huh. Target is not out of range. Stop telling you that. It's right there, right here, literally. Straight ahead, give protect. Ooh, look. I see something I want. Ooh, there's a lot of you. I take it you're the boss. Heavy, how much? 16, no thank you. Medium, I think I'm just gonna go medium. And we're good to go. We also have this. And out of here we go. Covered in bug guts. Mismatching clothes. You go fix that. What? Maybe it's this. You can keep your decorative wax. Okay, what was it these friends that needed this?
My notes? I can't believe it. I thought I'd lost these for good.
They may be a bit wet and covered in bugs. The mine has become a dangerous place, but here they are.
You can't know what this means to me. This was my life's work. Everything I've learned in 20 years of studying Kwama. I thought I was going to have to give up, find something new. Thank you so much.
I'm afraid to ask why this is called a Kwama goad. Did you crap out of Kwama goad them? No wonder they're violent. The Kwama have grown agitated in recent weeks, peculiar considering it's been months since they became accustomed to my scent, as they have with the miners. The miners have found the corpse of a thunderbug this morning, along with the bodies of perhaps a dozen warrior Kwama. We're uncertain what the path the thunderbug took to get here, but we'll find it. This mine will not survive a full invasion. Speaking of drinking, I forgot to do something real quick. Also, I have shoes. No, I think they're so cheap now. Anything else? I got something else. just a shell. Too ahead of me there. Okay, no, thank you. Okay, so our next mission is going to be this one, like right down here. Oh fuck, we're running. We get far enough, it'll just bat at us and go away. Ow! Shit. Excuse you. Your box of bugs were worth it.
Amazing to think you've been in the field with Tellinger himself. Simply amazing. My trusty courier. Did you have an exciting trip?
You look very bright in this light for some reason. I found your shipment. I found your lost shipment in Redford. This one found your lost shipment in Redford trading post.
Was it the import taxes again? I thought I paid those weeks ago. I was hoping that would hasten the process. My client is not exactly a patient woman, and I do not wish to upset her.
When I picked it up, I was attacked by Kwama.
Kwama? No, this is no good. I don't need that here with all my other fragile shipments. Look, can you run this out to Alex right away? She'll have your payment. And try not to stare at her. She's easily distracted.
I don't want to know what that means. Oh, yeah, I got the Chattering Skull Monster Trophy. The frick, that was my phone. Oh, that was a bug on my foot. $250 for a skull that won't stop moving. Okay, trash. Whatever. Wait, anything magic? Okay. Okay. Not keep that, not that, not that. Don't keep that. Yeah, that's about it. Y'all hear like a vampire? Just comes up here and sits around. Okay. So now we gotta run this to someone over here. Back the way we came. You know what? We haven't ridden this one in a while. Oh, what is this? Oh. Back here, cat. I didn't mean to hit that. I'm back here. That can't be right. What's this do again? Decreases damage taken by 5%, increases damage done by 5%. Fallen grasswood. Okay. She's like on the other side of this, I guess. Doesn't say she's above. Here, Alexi. Did I just call you Alfie? Jesus. Well, I'm supposed to find her out here somewhere? Is she like in a house or something up here? The house up here. Ew. She's not a hag raven, is she? She don't look like a hag raven. She do look like a hag.
You reek of Kwama juices. Why don't you come inside and spend some time with your granny, Alex? I'll have a hearty, chunky brain stew ready soon. Or do you like it spongy and raw?
You have mushrooms on your shoulder, lady. And that's just the beginning of your issues. Are you expecting a shipment from Entorres?
What? Oh, from that netch scab in Thoris. It's late. It's so very late. I've resorted to eating troll brains and maggot soup, and my potions have lost their delectable fetid flavor already.
Does that mean you don't want it?
Of course I want it. Just pour it in the stew there, and if anything escapes, feel free to gobble it up as a tip. If you want, you can spend time with your old granny Alex while the eggs pop and ooze into the sauce.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Dumping whatever the heck that is in there.
You didn't drop a single one. I'm impressed. Come to think of it, I have been needing an apprentice.
I don't like that she's bones, but she has some saggy bosoms down there. Entorres said you'd pay me on delivery.
Don't care to keep company with your old granny, Alex? Or is it the smell of the boiling Kwama? A little too heady for your delicate sensibilities? Oh well, I'll enjoy it all for myself. I always do.
I'm not sure I want those. I'll take the money. You can keep the
Why are
pants.
you still here? You like what you see? Hmm? Want to spend time with your old granny, Alex, eh?
What's with the balcony? Do you
Why?
practice?
You need something, eh? A tonic for your itchy bumps, a salve for your sore nethers, an unguent for critters in your hair?
Entorres said you might sell some excess wares.
So, you didn't come to see your old granny Alex to sit on her lap and hear a story? Didn't want to play Count the Wards, eh? I might have a couple scraps I could sell, but they could be cheaper if you knew how to make an old lady's teeth tingle.
I don't think I want to know what that means. I'm going to read your book. Okay. And I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave so fast. So very fast. Goodbye, lady.
To oblivion with you!
There won't be enough of your heart to eat.
Am I supposed to be doing something here? Hello.
I'll make you dance before your end.
I can't tell if they're dueling or trying to kill each other. I guess we watch. What the frick did I just witness? A full-on duel to the death, and the guy just poured it out. Didn't even talk to me. I watched the whole thing. He didn't talk to me. I guess I'm done with that one. Okay. I can head north. I'm gonna head north to Cornier State area to Phantom Guilt with the jeweler. I have a few roads to hit before I get there. Enjoy the view of giant trees. We'll have about a 3-hour stream tonight, guys. About typical. Tomorrow we'll stream maybe about midday. I'll be a little more assured tonight once I get off and I talk about my next streams. Last time I checked, I still don't have next week's schedule, so your guess is as good as mine. You'll either have to keep a lookout on my Facebook or Twitter, or just wait for me to show up. Hey, wait. I forgot to sell something to you.
I don't make many sales here.
It was light, so I can't really use it anyway. Whatever is caked into the material will require powerful magic to remove. Why don't you just take these and burn them? Or whatever you want to do with them. Wear them. And I'll see you later. And I'm going to actually eat one of my foods because I keep forgetting to do that. There was something up here I have. Increased health recovery by 2 hours. Health magic stamina recovery, I think it said, hopefully. There we go. We're going north here. Sorry, I like watching the trees as I pass them by, so I'm looking up a bit. Gonna run right into someone. I'll pass up that boss area again. On the other side, I don't know if we can see what it is though. Kind of afraid to get near it and set it off and end up far away from here. Bunch of marksman, poacher camp. Yeah, likely a poacher thing. Super poacher. What the frick is that? Oh, people. To my right would lead that way. I want to go straight north. No, actually, I want to go this way. Hello, guys. Nice red steeds. It's a camp. Sorts. Surprised I don't have a mission here.
Hold. We've observed your travels through Grotwood and have need of your particular talents.
Okay.
Our eyes are everywhere in Grotwood. We've fixed them upon you for some time. We're in need of an outsider, unknown in Cormount. Someone with versatility.
Who are you?
I'm privileged to be a Vine Dusk Ranger. We report directly to King Camorin Eridon, ruler of the Wood Elves. We protect his rule against all threats, without or within.
What kind of
The
threats?
Black Sap Rebellion, for one. Though nearly broken at the Dominion's formation, its last remnants plague Cormount. With your help, we can finally end our civil war. If you're agreeable, I'll open a portal to our base of operations.
Alright, open the
Give me a
portal.
moment to open the portal.
I guess I do the jeweler thing later.
There you go. Quickly now, enter the portal.
Bushy.
The portal transfer is complete.
Good. It's who we've been expecting. You're in no danger here, friend. Come, let us speak.
Oh, he's a player. I thought there's an awfully tall
Cormount is where the Black Sap Rebellion began. With
person
your
behind
help,
you.
Cormount will be where it ends. The Vine Dusk Rangers need you to flush out the Black Sap leaders. Killing them will only fuel the flames of rebellion. They must be brought into custody.
Excuse me. Why do you need me to do this?
After General Andare broke their backs, we pacified the remnants of the Black Sap. Every rebel in Grotwood knows our faces. But not yours. Your anonymity allows you to get close, capture their leaders.
I'm a freaking cat. This is a local rebellion. Why should I get involved?
The Black Sap hate the king, but they have less love for the Dominion. We know they're planning something. Given their methods, it will be loud and bloody. We can't allow this to fester. But if we capture its leaders, the rebellion ends overnight.
Tell me about the rebellion's leaders.
Goranir is strong as an ox and just as proud. His brother Lorchan seems to have more eyes in Grotwood than we do. Both are sons of Gelthior, cousin to King Camoran Eredon, traitor to his people, and the prisoner for whom this place was built.
Has Gelthior told you anything about his sons?
Nothing we didn't know already. Gelthior is the king's cousin, so we're forbidden from using harsher methods. More's the pity. If you care to question him yourself, do so before you leave. You won't return here unless his sons are in hand.
Okay. How am I supposed to track down Gelthior's sons?
Meet with Trethane Eardo, our agent in Cormount. It took months, but she identified locals connected to the Black Sap. She'll get you started.
Yeah, but Trethane as an agent, jeez. I'll find her in Cormount.
Once you've departed, Forainor will seal the portal. None must know we're holding Gelthior at this location. Or that he's alive, for that matter.
I have a few questions.
I've spent much of the past year as caretaker here, but I'll answer as best I can.
Where are we exactly?
We needed a place where none could find Gelthior. So we dug out a remote alien ruin, set up this prison, and then caved in the entrance. The only way in or out is through Forainor's portals. So to answer your question, we're nowhere.
Why are you holding Gelthior here?
We barely won the Civil War. Gelthior would sit the throne if Queen Irene hadn't answered our call for aid. Once we'd captured the leader of the Black Sap, we knew we couldn't risk his escape. So we brought him here, to this hole in the ground.
What do you plan to do with Gelthior and his sons?
We'll hold them here until King Camoran Eredon says otherwise. If the heroes of the Black Sap vanish forever, their followers have nothing to rally behind. Then rebellion fades to memory. We all get to live on with our lives.
Why can't the Dominion handle this?
The king is responsible for his own people, so it falls to the king's soldiers to handle all local matters. But just in case the Black Sap get any ideas, Dominion camps are stationed just outside of Cormount. Training maneuvers, they call it.
Okay.
You hear that, Gelthior? It's the last of your rebellion collapsing upon itself.
Light armor increase.
Come to mock the rightful king of the Wood Elves. Go on then, have your fun.
This one has some questions for you.
Not answer me, you traitorous dog. You aren't one of Mayros' killers, that's clear. Ask your questions.
Butaya Mekila. Why did you start the Black Sap Rebellion?
Since his ascension to the throne, the king's attempts to renew our lands shows how soft he is on the Green Pact. My people need a ruler who understands the ancient compacts aren't to be discarded. As second in line to the throne, it fell to me.
One moment, guys. I'll be right back. I'm back. Soft on the green pack. What does that mean?
Our ancient compact with Ifre brought splendor to the Wood Elf people. Yet this king's own Vine-Dusk Rangers are exempt. I've seen them eat roots from the ground. Disgusting. When the people called for justice, I had no choice.
Sounds like you really wanted to be the king.
Of course I did. How better to reaffirm the Green Pact, to keep the High Elves out of Grabwood? But General Endari ended the Black Sap when she slaughtered us at Cormount. I fear my sons can't see the rebellion is over. It's why I hope you capture them.
Why do you want me to capture your sons?
If the full weight of the Dominion gets involved in a local rebellion, my people will suffer. I'd rather use the Dominion's tools against them. A public trial will show our cause to be just, but only if my sons still live.
What can you tell me about your sons?
If Lord John knows I'm alive, he'll come peacefully. He's pragmatic and not the type to waste his life for a lost cause. Goranir is another matter. He's not the type to kill you outright, but step lightly. He's very proud, that one.
Okay.
Say the word, and I'll open a portal to Cormount. Once you pass through, it will seal behind you.
What
If
do
you
you
have
do
anything
here?
to do before you leave, now is the time.
What do you do here?
I'm the Vine-Dusk's master of portals. I've spent most of my life studying their magical intricacies. I've developed my own types of portals, the kind which can't possibly be traced. Without my expertise, none of this will be possible.
You eat all the cookies?
Open the portal. Got two things here. A jeweler we're looking for.
Going to slaughter the entire town.
Maybe. We're going to look for a jeweler, and we're looking for... What's this? Fuck me.
Dominion soldiers have no right to set up camp outside of town. This is our land, not theirs.
Uh-huh. You sound like you're trying to hide something. It's the jeweler?
One of my favorite things about Grotwood is the way the stars look through the tree canopy. It really is quite lovely. But I'm letting myself grow distracted. How may I help you?
Do you know where I can find a jeweler in Cormont?
There's really only Rondrin, but he's been retired for a while now.
Go find Rondon real quick, guys, then we'll go do the rest of this mission. I'm assuming these are one of these tree houses. Root houses? I don't know what you call these. Bulb houses.
If you are looking for custom jewelry, you should know I'm retired.
Did you make this amulet?
My amulet! Tell me, did it do its work? Did the Argonians suffer?
What Argonian?
The brigand who killed my son! It took all my resources to make that amulet and track him down. You see, I'm not a strong or violent man, but I do know my craft. That amulet is my masterpiece.
How does it work?
It magnifies the guilt of taking a life, slowly overwhelming the wearer with grief until he takes his own life. It's a little bit of poetry, if I do say so myself. Although, it's been so long, I was beginning to doubt it worked.
I didn't find it on an Argonian.
What? That can't be! You're lying! The Argonian sent you, didn't he? He's not dead at all, is he?
I found this journal near the amulet.
This isn't right. This person obviously did not deserve to die. What have I done? Give me the amulet. I made it impossible to give away, but I created it, so you should be able to give it to me.
Here, take it.
I thank you for bringing me closure on my son's killer. I know what I have to do now.
Oh, what do you mean?
It's my turn to wear the amulet now. If anyone is guilty, if anyone deserves it, it's me.
If that's what we want.
Now it is time for you to leave and for me to reap what I've sown. I was a successful jeweler in my day. Take this for your troubles and go on with your life. I deserve to suffer. All those lives ruined because of my petty need for vengeance. I deserve worse. Leave me be.
Okay. This is... Oh, speaking of assassin. I have a notification. Okay. Inventory. Oh, that's right, he gave me a ring. Yeah, I'll sell it later. Does this place have a... Let's see anything. This is a small town. Does it have anything in it? Upstairs some more. Okay, we're going to the tops of the tree.
It doesn't matter if you think you saw an Arthurus eat a potato. I can't do anything without proof.
Thank you, Tree Thane. I won't have my good name sullied by this fanatic.
A year ago, we'd have buried him up to his neck for blasphemy.
Enough! I've given my ruling. Now both of you, please get on with your lives. I don't want to hear any more of this. Yes? How can I help you? I'm sorry you had to witness that. I knew Cormount's citizens were zealous about the Green Pact, but sometimes they go hunting for trouble.
The Vindesk Rangers told me to speak with you.
Yes, Verina said I'm to support you in tracking down Gelthiel's sons. We'll start with Lorchon, the Black Sap spy master. If we capture him first, his brother Goronir will be without eyes. And before you ask, I lost it in the war.
What do you have for me?
The Black Sap rebellion started here. It won't surprise you to learn Cormount's citizens provide food and gold to the remnants. They use special phrases to arrange meetings. If you know the phrases, you can get to the remnants.
What are the phrases?
The phrases change weekly. Definitely the work of Lorchon. Lucky for you, I've done the scut work. You'll find this week's phrases in the journal next to me. I leave it to you to work out which ones to use.
What if I use the wrong phrase?
The Black Sap protects its own. I can't imagine they'll be happy. You'll see a list of known sympathizers in the journal. Approach them and use the right phrase to set up a meeting with Lorchon. Find me when you're done. Everything should be in the journal. Be careful. Cormount has been crawling with Black Sap.
Okay, no sympathizer. Melith, Nalion, Noleres, Gilarvio, which I swear is the Lord of the Rings name. Liron, Galeriel. Any of them should connect you to the remnants. First them and speak the week's first phase first. The fallen Nesty Pepper swims at night. After they respawn, check the weather. It should be related to if it's cloudless skies scare the peepers away, rainy skies bring all the peepers out, or sunny skies keep the peepers in their cave. So it's cloudless and dark, rainy or sunny. The sympathizers spend a lot of time under the end. Near that old shrine, I've seen them change the color of a flame. The color will tell you your final response you need. Once yellow, once green, or once blue. I actually don't know what inn. Is there an inn in here?
I was outside.
I was outside?
Yes.
Like, what was it? Like a horn?
Yes, it sounded like it was in our backyard.
You trying to play a joke on me?
No, it sounded like it was in our backyard. I swear I was just when I caught it.
I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna check something. Sorry, guys. We heard like a truck horn, but it sounded like it was right behind our house. And there's nothing behind our house. What woods? But further back, there's a highway. So maybe from there, it just sounded awfully close, so I could hear it through the earphones. Listen, sir, chicharrones. You're in my controller spot. Where's you, good boy? I got to find the inn. Tamriel, they're on. I gotta find an inn. Listen, stop tenderizing my wrist for your feast down there, mister. Quit licking. This is a tavern. Could that be an inn? Oh, blue. Okay, so it's cloudy and blue. Quit licking
all that's
me.
terrible in the world. I can't thank you enough for helping surround
Dad,
me.
give them some context on that.
Chicharrones. You're a good little pervol, but quit trying to eat me. It tickles. Okay, my cat's decided I'm dinner.
That's so delicious. If I could, I'd drink it straight from the pig.
The Falanesti people swim at night.
That's strange. I haven't seen a peeper around here in quite some time.
It's not rainy though.
Imposter!
Oh, did I say the wrong thing? Ow!
You leave Cormount in my stomach!
Did he just say I'll leave Cormount in his stomach? You cannibal, you weirdo. Gee, what the hell? Go lick him.
No.
Yes, get him. Vicious. Attack.
Yeah.
Okay, I said the wrong thing apparently. It's not rainy though. Is it not nighttime? Do I say clear skies, whatever? Did she leave? She left. Okay, let's try this again. Apparently it's not sunny. I thought it was sunny. It looks sunny. Whatever. Ow, gee, that hurts.
Everything you see comes from something I killed. That's strange. I haven't seen a peeper around here in quite
Rainy
some
skies
time.
ring all the peepers out.
That's true. Say, do you know why the peeper's skin is red?
Once blue, it was forced to eat its own family. Its body is bathed in their blood.
You're a new face. What do you want?
I want to meet with Lorchon and ignore the fact that I'm a Khajiit and not a wood elf.
Head to the butcher's ground. He'll be there when he's ready. We won't speak again.
Goodbye. Okay, we're going to the what? Oh, we're going to meet the tree thing.
Have you secured a meeting with Lorchon?
I'm supposed to meet him at the butcher's ground.
Of course. It's where General Andare cut down most of their forces.
What happened at the battle?
The Jade Dragoons struck at night, from all directions. The Black Sap never stood a chance. They tried to surrender, but General Andare had ordered her soldiers to cleanse the area. Seems the Jade Dragoons always follow orders.
Why would Lorchon want to meet at the site of a massacre?
No good reason, I'm sure of it. But we don't have a choice. If Lorchon shows up, you'll need to capture him.
How can I do that?
Here, these were Galthior's rings. His sons will recognize them immediately. As soon as Lorchon puts it on, he'll be transported to the hidden prison. One of Farina's more devious enchantments.
Fornir, the master of portals.
He's still calling himself that? The boy needs a hobby. He once proposed we use his portals to send the contents of our latrine into a Black Sap camp. The perfect distraction, he said. We called him the Master of Privies for a month.
Is there anything else I need to know before Lorchon?
We need Lorchon and his brother. See if you can get him to talk about where Goranir is hiding. You have a ring for each brother. Once you've captured them both, Farina will find you. And if we don't meet again, it's been an honor. Now back to my mind-numbing duties. Good luck out there.
She's not a fan of being the ruler of this town, is she? I'm going this way through the forest. Oh, I'm going to the ruins down there. Okay. This way to the ruins. Oh, these are the old Dominion camps they're talking about. They're awfully empty. I see like one person, he's a merchant. They set up camps, but they didn't man them. Ooh, humans. I can sneak around them. It's been a while since I've been able to do this. What actually just happened there? Did she just appear out of nowhere? Cool person. Ooh, several people. We'll just ignore them for now. And dead. Oh no, have I activated the forever battle music?
I see my black sap are no match for you. Every night since the massacre, I've dreamt of the horrors the Jade Butcher brought to Cormount. It seems fitting to meet the one who brought her to justice on the very spot she slew the black sap. I wonder, will I have nightmares of you?
I'm here to bring you to justice.
Are you? I admit, I'm not one for direct confrontation. That's more Gorinir's style. I've long preferred to fade into the background, which I'll do unless you have anything of value to say.
No. Your father is still alive. Here, take his ring.
Alive? He's been missing for the better part of the year. Everyone thought him dead. I've long suspected he lives and have an inkling of who holds him. Tell me the name of his jailer, and I'll know if you speak the truth.
Mayroth. He's the Vine Dusk Ranger who holds your father.
I see. Very well. I wish to turn myself in. Take me to my father. If he's alive, I must speak with him.
Oh, I'm gonna fix my earphones. What? Oh, my hair's in the way. Why the change of heart?
The Black Sap Rebellion needed my family to begin, and now it lives in the heart of the people. It will flourish in time. But I'd rather be at my father's side when it happens. I did surrender, yes? Shall we be off?
First, tell me where to find Gorinir.
My brother is in a cave on the other side of Cormount. Good luck reaching him. He has many soldiers at his command, and he's not much for talking before acting. And you should hurry before he sets his plan in motion.
Plan? What plan?
As I said, he's not much for talking. Sometimes not even to me. I do know how much he loathes the Jade Butcher, and that he wants to repay the Dominion in kind. I told you where to find Gorinir. Now take me to my father.
Put on the ring.
To identify me as your prisoner, so the Vine Dusk don't kill me on sight? Very well. I'm ready to go when you are.
You will be going soon.
Unexpected.
Now, pull him through.
That was a little weird. A little janky. They said there's a cave on the other side of Coromont. This is Coromont, by the way. It's still not Carthar. We'll have to see what Carthar is all about. All by yourself. Text me. Oh, where did you come from? Safe, I think. Soldier. Ah, we're bad guys. Set up so I can't sneak behind them. How clever. But this isn't going the right way. And there are not by Dust Rangers. Whatever they're called all over the place. Black Sat. You're very noisy. Why? Not you with the cat in my game. Just splashing into the water like we're not sneaking.
Oh, if only you could see yourself. You're covered in it. It's your fault leaving me behind. Now be quiet. We'll need to find more kindling.
Y'all really need help with the campfire. I thought y'all were bad guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Am I near it yet? Holy cow. Oh, there's 3. Not too hard. Let's see how inside the cave goes. Lots of people. I'm not really set up where I could assassinate anybody, unfortunately. We have a sharpshooter and a recruit. They're on lurchers for some reason. Heard someone talking. Those are big bones. Oh, mammoth. Okay. Mammoth down here. More mammoths down here in Graftwood. Might be able to get this one. Oh, the lurcher already seems frozen. Oop. No, I took that. Am I going the right way? Entrance over here. This looks like an archaeological dig. There's some old bones in here that are somewhat in the wall. Some partially uncovered bones.
Stand down! If the intruder made it here, you'll be just another notch on the scabbard!
How do you know this one not just his scabbard? Don't sell too many scabbards to much in.
Are you with the Vine Dusk Rangers? The Justiciars? The Fighters Guild? It doesn't matter. I know why you're here.
I'm the Black Hand.
Justice! Queen Irene invaded our land and killed our people. All in the name of the false king Camoran Eredon. The only justice is in the soil, where her Jade Butcher slaughtered our people. And now, that very soil will rise up to take back what is rightfully ours.
What are you talking about?
Our constructs already rise to take back Cormount. Those who follow the Green Pact will see the forest rise against the Dominion invaders. Fitting revenge for the Jade Butcher's work.
Why are you doing this?
Ifray's children loathe the outsiders who pick away at the Green. Until the Black Saps sit on the throne in Eldenroot, Grotwood itself will rise against the invaders. They weep for Gelthior. The death of my father drove them to this.
Tell me how to stop the constructs.
You can't stop anything. It has already begun. The Dominion camps will know the pain and fear General Andare brought us one long bloody year ago. I only regret one thing. I hope to end the Jade Butcher myself, to honor the memory of my father.
I defeated General Andare, so Redor, I'll show you exactly how this one did it.
You're the one who did it. Tell me, when she fell to you, was it swift? Or did she linger?
Does it matter?
No, I suppose it doesn't. I'll surrender to you, but it won't end the attacks on the Dominion camps. Once unleashed, the constructs are beyond our control.
How can I stop them?
Here, take this bottle. My soldiers drink it to steady their nerves before battle. Perhaps it will help with the constructs. Now, where is my father?
Put on the ring, I'll lead you to your father.
All right, lead me to my father.
Don't think
A trick!
that we even discussed that his father was alive. Okay, I'm not sure what that did, but okay. Is there not an easy way out of here? I had to go all the way back. Nothing going down. What the frick? Okay, now if that's everybody that would like to attack me, I'd like to get out of this cave. That's what everybody did. Apparently not everybody. How long do you think she'll wait there? Should I wait to see if she turns or just end her now? Let's end her and I'll attack her friend. Too bad the assassin was shortened. I'm going to Dominion camps for some reason. Okay, boys, y'all could rally and help with the rest of them, Jesus. Okay, not too bad. Hello guys, bye guys. Go under here? Aw. I'm gonna exit the cool way. Why are there vines everywhere? This is a forest?
Finished. We're at the West Bridge. Come, join us.
Okay. Is this the West Bridge? No. Oh yes, yes it is.
Our hero returns. For Rhino, open a portal. Meroth wants to speak with our friend.
Yes, ma'am.
Well done. You fought like a Vindusk Ranger. With Gelthior's sons in custody, the Black Sap is dead. Perhaps Cormount will finally be at peace.
I am a Queen's Eye, and an assassin. Guess I'm going this way. I kind of want to duck the hill though.
Yeah, stop your relentless pacing.
Bite your tongue,
it's giving me a
Lord John.
headache.
Your lack of commitment is the reason we're here.
If you won't stop bickering, I'll gag you both. Ha, come in. Good work out there.
Where you at? Oh.
The Black Sap are leaderless and their attack was blunted thanks to your quick work. Cormount will heal in time.
What will happen to Gelthior and his sons?
We'll keep them here until the king says otherwise. Better they're thought missing than known to be alive or dead. The Black Sap leadership won't know what to do.
They're traitors, is what they deserve.
Agreed. They're traitors. Traitors deserve no sympathy. They'd spend the rest of their days in this hole if I had any say.
Alright.
Here, a little present. I can't make you a Vindusk Ranger, but I can give you something to show you're an honorary member. They represent the King's trust, knowing we uphold the Green Pact, despite our exemption from it. You've more than earned it.
Almost positive I outsailed those, but okay. Stamina down by a thousand. Recovery up by a bit. I can actually probably enchant it. I have a chance. I have 80 enchantments. I like the recovery. I don't like that it drops another 1,000 off a critical. 2,000 up on armor. Yeah, we'll do it. Is this even worth keeping? Okay, house. Level up? Oop. No, level up. Nothing to there. Nothing to there. Nothing to there. Dark Brotherhood, Fighters Guild. Not really anything I need to do here. Skills. Nothing to really do with any of my skills right now.
Don't cause any trouble.
The king won't keep us here forever. For all his flaws, my cousin believes himself to be a just man. He can't leave us here to rot.
Says who?
I can't say I enjoy this, but knowing Gelthior is trapped inside these walls gives me no small amount of satisfaction.
You call this justice? The Vine Dusk used you just as the Dominion used them. You've done nothing but tighten the grasp of tyranny on Grotwood.
Whatever you say, crazy boy. I like my wheats. And my flowers. I'll eat both of you. What will we do without catnip? Okay. Now I have lots of uncolored clothes on that could do for coloring. So we could head south. Where are we at on time, actually? About an hour? An hour 30. Nice. That took an hour 30 off me. Well, what I've done so far, I did like a few things, haven't I? Let's go ahead and go up here and see if I can sell some stuff to this merchant.
The fight is well and truly lost. Get out of our town. You aren't welcome here.
Whatever. Why are you hiding?
Hello. Is there anything you might need?
So, this. Exactly do that without being ejected, huh? Okay, so let's head south, shall we, and see what this other place is. Anybody else have opinions? Talk to everybody else's opinions about how much they hate me real quick. That's how it affected this area.
The Black Sap always knew the best hunting spots.
That's no reason to keep violent fidgets around.
Black Sap Dominion? Who are we following now?
Well, she seems to not cared.
You seem a little too serious. Why don't you have a seat and relax? Come to think of it, everyone around here has been powerful serious lately. Maybe it's in the water.
She only cares about drinks, which I can actually agree with.
All these little papers the Dominion write up seem so interesting. I just want to know what's on them. It's driving me crazy.
What? 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 I have to say, I've seen only one person who's rarely aggressive with me.
Our great leaders are gone, missing. What will we do?
Stop being a butt. The Jade Butcher brought her army in at night, like thieves, the good citizens of Cormont, no matter their faith in the true king. Cameron Gelthior could not stand in the face of the High Elf treachery. The soldiers set fire to the trees, burned Valenwood itself. All the families fled from homes, and cavalry rode them down. Children were rounded up and strangled in the streets. The Jade Butcher's thugs forced the parents to watch. I personally led the Black Sap's response. I saw that they had done. Our anger was swift and righteous. We drove the Butcher's force to ruins outside the Cormont. We called in the Green to aid us in destroying these invaders. But the Jade Butcher's real treachery had only begun. Her mages had poisoned the Green. With our true ally to aid us, Valenwood itself, her forces rallied and resumed their slaughter. Though they outnumbered 4-1, the Black Sap fought on for Valenwood, for Eldenroot, for Coromond. Remember this, Massacre, my brothers and my sisters. Remember the Jade Butcher and the Dominion that considers her a hero. Remember that my father, the true king, vanished that day. Though he is thought to be among the dead, I still hold a hope. Hope that Valenwood itself will rise again. That those loyal to the true king will rise with it.
My husband would have been heartbroken if I spoke out against the Black Sap. I'm glad they're gone. Now we can all get back to our lives.
You're a high elf. Short. Guess you're a wood elf. Just only a high elf for some reason. Someone told that guinea pig to chill. Well, apparently I'm going this way. Oh, good shit. That was nothing to do with looking at me.
Black Sapper no more. What a pity.
Oh, I can't kill him. What is this? What have I entered? I got into a foyer or something. Am I in the main area? I'm in the main area. Okay, let's stop getting lost. Lost. And head south. Let's find a tree here. Nice.
You'd better be worth my time.
I'm just checking to see what's going on here. We got a high elf and an orc. Snagbash. Why did I know that name? I'm a little worried about what the orc is cornered the high elf about. Because it's none of my business. An oddly clear spot right here. Tree's just like cleared out. PGT. Yeah, the merchant.
The roads are dangerous. Be sure you're well stocked, friend.
Don't really buy anything from you guys, like ever. Okay, to my left here is a city or town, I don't know. Karthdar. I don't know that name.
Over here.
Jesus.
Oh, thank Ifre. I wasn't sure I would find anyone out here. My village needs help. The forest has turned against us.
What do you mean? What is going on?
I don't know how else to describe it. Spriggans and Sench just started tearing through our village in numbers. We've had to take refuge in the sacred cave where we hold our religious ceremonies.
What can this one do?
Trethane Roland sent me to look for outside help. I don't know what he intends. He said something about a horrible crime. I think he thinks the forest is trying to exact justice for something. He's in the sacred cave with the others.
Excuse me. Oh, right. I'll speak with them. Oh. My hands are gloved again, aren't they? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Get off. On a walk. And when I wear gloves, you can't see my little kitty claws. Alright, am I going the right way? Oh. Okay. Sells for a high price of anything. Okay. I see an anchor. What's this one down here? There is an ton of friends and cats around here. What the hell? I don't know why I'm collecting these as a shit. I wish I could just hand them over to my mage.
Did one of our scouts find you and send you this way? It doesn't matter. We're desperately in need of assistance. If you are willing to help us, please step inside the cave behind me and speak with our tree thane.
Okay. This one will do that.
I wonder if we can trust each other again after this.
Huh?
I can't tell you how glad I am you're here. Something is horribly amiss, and we can't leave this cave without fearing for our lives until it's put right.
What exactly is happening here?
We are followers of the Green Pact, pledged to protect the forest from all harm. In exchange, the forest shapes itself to our needs. But now the forest has turned against us, stirring the Sench to attack us and driving us into hiding.
What could cause that?
Only a gross violation of the Green Pact could cause the forest to attack us in this way. My suspicions were confirmed when we entered this cave. We found the sacred blossom, Sanguine Alendo, cut from its stem. No wonder the forest is angry.
How can we find the responsible party?
The requirements for correcting a violation of the Green Pact are well established. 3 kinds of proof are required for judgment: witness testimony, physical evidence, and a magical omen. Without all 3, no judgment can be rendered.
Why haven't you collected these things already?
I've been able to narrow the suspects by talking to the villagers, but to gather more evidence, we'd need to leave this cave. For as long as justice is denied under the Green Pact, the forest will destroy any of us who set foot outside this cave.
I'll find the evidence of the Pact breaker.
You have my gratitude. There are 3 suspects whose behavior has been called into question. Aranak, the Khajiit merchant, Spinner Aranas, and his wife Gathiel. I suggest talking to my people to find possible witness testimony before venturing into the town.
Sounds good. Why not talk to the suspects?
Please, it wasn't me. How could it be me? I am a Khajiit. Only wood elves can break the Green Pact.
That sounds quite reasonable, actually.
I heard you've been made Pact advocate. Is this true? I want to help in any way I can. The Green Pact is sacred, and the person who broke it must be brought to justice.
We'll get to the bottom of this. Do you mind answering some questions?
Anything to fix this.
Have you had any dealings with Anorak, the merchant?
Aranak's been in our town for years. Why would he suddenly decide to do this? Besides, the Pact has a special bond between the Wood Elves and the forest. I don't think the forest would react this way if Aranak were guilty.
And Spinner Aranis?
Aranis is a good man. He's the village spinner, so it's his job to pass on the stories of the Wood Elves and the Green. I learned about the Green Pact from his stories when I was a child. He would never endanger the village or break the Pact.
Kinda leaves his wife's.
A real piece of work. Always scheming, that one is. Spinner's wife or not, I'm sure she's guilty. She's been sick for weeks and just happens to get better the night the Pact was broken. I'd testify against her in a heartbeat.
Sounds pretty suspect.
So Tree Thane Roland wants you to investigate the violation of the Green Pact. I don't see what there is to investigate. The culprit is plain enough, but I'm happy to help.
I'd like to ask you a few questions if you don't mind.
Ask what you want, but I think it's obvious who did it. That Khajiit has always held our traditions in contempt.
What can you tell me about the Khajiit?
The night the Green Pact was broken, there was a terrible storm. I was sitting by the window, watching the lightning. That's when I saw that filthy cat sneak off into the woods towards the cave. I will happily testify against him.
That doesn't prove anything. Do you feel that strongly about Spinner Erinus?
Spinner Erinus is our guiding light. He helped heal my cousin when she got sick, and has always been a staunch defender of the Green Pact. It's offensive he's even under suspicion.
I see you want about his wife.
Gathiel has her moments of ego, but she's a loyal member of this community. We were all praying for her during her recent illness, and were thrilled at her recovery. I don't think she's capable of this crime.
If she was ill, Cat used the thing to heal the lady, or Spinner used the thing to heal the lady?
I think they all did it. All of them, collaborating with one another, broke the Green Pact intentionally. The real question is why? Obviously, they wanted the forest to attack us, to distract us from their real purpose. Think about it.
That's as sound as the other two things I've heard so far.
So Trethane Rollin has you looking into the destruction of the sacred flower. I hope you understand this isn't just about a plant. The Green Pact defines us. Our whole way of life is based on it. I hope you take the investigation seriously.
I'd like to ask you about the accused.
I'm happy to answer any questions you have, but I can tell you already that it was our Spinner.
Ooh, this one actually says Spinner. What makes you so sure it was Spinner?
He's an alchemist. He makes unnatural concoctions with plants. He claims to never use anything forbidden, but everyone knows that alchemists need lots of herbs to do their work. I am willing to testify against him for bringing this down on us.
I mean, that's a theory you have. You have less evidence than the other two. What are your thoughts on the merchant?
That merchant is harmless. He only gets what people ask him to acquire, and I've never seen him harm a leaf. If it weren't for him, we'd be cut off from the rest of the world entirely.
I see. And what about the Spinner's wife?
I won't stand any bad-mouthing of Gathiel. Sure, she's married to that alchemist, but she's nothing like him, rooting around in the dirt for dead leaves. The way she carries herself, her beauty, her refinement, she would never stoop so low.
Okay. This guy looks like he's literally covered in dirt. Whatever. I have evidence against 3 of them, it looks like. And, I'm not sure how that helps me. Let me go this way.
It's truly terrible what has come upon the village, but I promise I'm not the one responsible. It's my duty as Spinner to teach the children about the Green Pact. I would never violate it.
One of your fellow villagers say that as an alchemist you use illicit plant material.
Alchemy is not a common practice among wood elves, so it's understandable that there's some confusion. The only plant material I've ever used were leaves and flowers that naturally fell to the ground, as per our laws.
Thank you for your information.
It's truly terrible what has come upon the village.
I would never violate the Green Pact. I've lived by it all my life. It is unthinkable.
Are you a wood elf? Okay. One of the other villages said you recovered unnaturally quickly from a severe illness. Also, you're awfully tall.
I was sick, yes. But my husband and I prayed to Ifrit, and she saw fit to heal me.
Sound like a wood
As
elf.
opposed to a jealous eye, it could
Just
look
seem
suspicious,
tall.
but it's not evidence of guilt. On the contrary, some might say Ifrit has rewarded our faithfulness.
Thank you for your
I would
information.
never violate the Green.
She is taller than him, like by a lot. She speaks like a wood elf. She got the height and light skin of a. Where are you at? Oh,
Please, it wasn't me. How could it be me? I am a Khajiit. Only wood elves can break the Green Pact.
I have an eyewitness who says you were creeping around outside the night the pact was broken.
I was out in the storm trying to clear away fallen branches and protect my cart. For all the good it did.
Thank you for the information.
Please, it wasn't me.
Okay then. Apologies, I am back. Had to check on something. Okay. Above. Everything's above, it looks like. I see, all up here. I have choice these two. Heavy 15 there. Over there, that guy too. One flower of sanguine and delil to be deposited near the fallen tree near the river. I Paid in full. Order status field. Ooh, does that mean he did cut it?
The crackhead looks bad. What?
A charred rock near the shattered car of the kitchen merchant and the rock. Seems oddly smooth and is still warm at the touch. If the merchant cart was struck by lightning, that could have been a musical sign of his guilt. Okay, so he cut the flower, but let's check everybody else. The spinner's signal, a complex way to be found in the fallen branches. It is broken into several pieces and left in a pile. It is normally found above his door. This could be a mystical sign he to use the spinner. What's that noise? A large cutting of vibrant and withing plants layer and spinner in the south of Mastiam. Most of the blossoms have been removed. Pick up plant cutting. Huh. There's two evidence in here. There's another one. Cattail's diary. This wasting disease eats at me, taking a little more of me each day. It takes all I have not to give into despair. And self-pity. Why me? Why now? I am young. I have done my best to treat my neighbors with kindness, support my clan. I love my husband, and hair from the forest. His worth when I see this done to poor Ernest. He does not eat, sleep. He hardly eats. Day and night he is hunched over his workbench, trying new mixtures with dead plants he's gathered from the forest floor. I tell him he mustn't let his own health suffer on my account, but I can see how much it pains him to see me this way. Meanwhile, I grow weaker. My hands shake as I write this. This morning, I woke up to my husband sitting over me. There were tears in his eyes. He gave me a potion to drink, but once again, there was no change in my illness. It's useless as long as he insists on keeping the Green Pact. The potions will never be potent enough, even if they are the right ones. It seems my husband has had the same thought. While he was gone today, I searched through his workbench. I found a book on rare horticulture. It fell open to the tear-stained entry of sanguine and lindil, the sacred blossom, and its association with cures for wasting sickness. I know my husband. He would never cut the sacred flower, but I am not willing to die when there's the hope of a cure. The Green Pact can't be a suicide pact, can it? The forest is supposed to care for us. I am too weak to harvest sanguine in the world myself, but I'll find a way. It is done. I have arranged that my husband will find the plant already cut in a forest where he searches for dead flowers each morning. I have no regrets. Ooh, Gathiel did it. Gathiel probably paid the merchant to do it. Why am I still seeing this door open? More evidence in here? I think I got all the evidence in here. Yeah, there's nothing left in there. Gathiel's astrology charts the ladies in the sign of indomitable will and unflagging health. When she shines, that she smiles on the sick and makes them well, and rewards those who serve in hardship. Technically, that one guy who said it was all three is correct, but the Tree Thrain is the least guilty. And I don't think the Khajiit is guilty because he's not part of the Green Pact. It's pretty much just Gathril. Are they already executing them or what?
You are a Pact advocate, and I trust your judgment. I only ask that you wait.
Oh.
So, let's see whatever it is you found. As long as we get it over with, right?
We stand ready to hear your findings, Advocate. I encourage you to ask the suspects about any evidence you found before making an accusation.
I believe. Oh, okay. That's a good idea, actually.
Please take whatever you...
I would never violate the Green Pact. I've lived by it all my life. It is unthinkable.
In your diary, you write that you will do anything to recover from your illness.
How dare you? You read my most private thoughts and then hold them against me as evidence? Last I heard, thinking was not a crime.
As an advocate, this one was told to leave no stone unturned in my investigation.
So callous. How would you feel if you were dying? Wouldn't you seek a cure? Of course I looked for something that would help, but in the end it took faithful prayer and nothing else. I would never violate the Green Pact.
This astrology card
It is unthinkable.
shows us signs of the lady was shining brightly the night the pact was broken.
Why yes, that is my sign. And the sign of several others in this village. Surely it was shining because I was being blessed with good health after a period of such long sickness. I am still thanking the divines for choosing to spare me.
Thank you for the information.
I would never violate the Green Pact.
It's truly terrible what has come upon the village, but I promise I'm not the one responsible. It's my duty as spinner to teach
What
the
do you
children
think
about the
caused
Green
your
Pact.
sigil to break?
My sigil. It's unfortunate. There was a fierce storm the other night. What's a tangle of dead branches against a gale like that? That's assuming the storm did it. Someone could have easily destroyed my sigil to make me look guilty. It's truly terrible what has
How
come
can you
upon the
possibly
village.
defend
I
this
promise I'm
cutting
not
of
the
the
one
secret
responsible.
plant that I found in your alchemist
I know what it looks like, but I didn't cut that plant. I found it in the forest by the dead tree. It was already cut. I thought it was a gift from Ifrit to cure my wife of a wasting sickness. Please, you must believe me. It's truly terrible.
I wish I didn't have to repeat that every time.
Please, it wasn't me. How could
How do you
it be me?
explain this
I am
charred
a
rock
Khajiit.
next to your lightning
Only
shattered
wood?
cart?
Yes, there was a storm the other night, and storms bring lightning. What does that prove? I should have chosen a better place to keep my cart, that is all. Please, it wasn't me.
I
How
found
could
this.
it be me? I am a Khajiit. Only wood
Kind
elves
of
can
talk.
break the Green Pact.
This one found a book of invoices that says you delivered a stock of the sacred flower.
And if I did cut the flower, that does not solve the wood elves' problem. The Green Pact is their custom. I got an anonymous order for a flower and I filled it. I did not know the flower was sacred. The one who placed the order is guilty, not me. Please.
That is actually quite true. Well, Gathriel, you're going to wherever they're going to do you.
We stand ready to hear your findings, Advocate. I encourage you to ask the suspects about any evidence you found before making an accusation.
This one believes he has what is needed.
Remember, once you have made an accusation, you must present the supporting evidence as requested.
I understand. I am all ready to make an accusation.
If you are truly ready, please name the accused.
Gathriel, the spinner's wife.
You have formally accused Gathiel, the wife of our spinner, of breaking the Green Pact. Who do you have to stand in testimony against the accused?
I asked Cinderella to stand in testimony.
Citizen, please step forth as accuser. Advocate, what physical evidence do you have to present to us?
Gathiel's diary, detailing the intention to acquire Sanguinian deal to cure an illness.
We accept this diary into evidence. Please place it on the table. Please present the final piece of evidence, an omen from the heavens portending the guilt of the accused.
The astrology chart showing the recent prominent signs.
We accept this astrology chart into evidence. Please place it on the table. Please allow me a moment to review the evidence you have presented, Advocate.
Of course.
After a careful review of the evidence provided to this court, I find the spinner's wife, Gathiel, guilty as charged.
I'm sorry. I'm so
Advocate,
sorry.
we have asked much of you in this terrible affair, but I must rely upon you for one final sacred task. Please escort the prisoner to the judgment chamber below. Advocate, please take the convicted to the judgment chamber. The green will decide the fate of the guilty.
Oh, okay.
I think it's best if I move on from here soon. I may have been exonerated, but these elves will never look at me the same. So many of them were so sure of my guilt.
No, not Gothiel. Oh, Gothiel. How could you have done this?
This isn't real. This is all a bad dream.
Follow this one.
This can't be happening. This can't be happening.
Ghosts of Brigands. I'm sorry, what game am I in now? Is this the DQ tree?
I didn't have a choice. It was just one plant. I would have died otherwise.
Blood for blood. It is done.
Okay. Also, it looks like you eat a lot of animals.
It is done. It is done.
Oh, okay, thank you, creaky voiced lady.
You have done what we could not. You have restored us to the Green Pact. All is right, even if all is not yet well. Thank you.
Cathiel is dead.
Gathiel was the gem of our village. It's still hard to believe, but who could blame her for wanting a cure to her illness? The Green Pact is a harsh burden sometimes. Still, we are grateful to you. You're welcome here anytime.
I got an item. Got more notifications. Okay, everybody else back in the village. I don't see much of it here. What's with the fighting music? I wasn't even fighting.
We will never forget how you helped bring peace back to our village.
Are these things going to stop attacking me? Oh good, they're good. That means I don't have to sneak no more.
Glad you proved me wrong, Advocate. Losing our spinner would have been unthinkably difficult on us all.
Yeah.
I still can't believe she's gone. I don't blame you, Advocate. I blame myself that I missed it. I'm going to pass down the title of spinner as soon as I find a suitable replacement. I can no longer be the spiritual light that Karthar needs.
You're standing on the box, ma'am.
The grain seems satisfied with the judgment, but I still think it was that damnable, filthy Khajiit.
You're partially right. The Khajiit is not part of the Green Pact. Also, you have a gigantic tiger in your house, ma'am. These Sinchi Khajiits everywhere. There's one last person to talk to.
The sun bathes us in warmth by day, and the moon in shimmering silver by night. The whole forest rejoices now that the Pact breaker, Gathiel, is gone. Thank you, Advocate.
Okay, we figured out what that was about then. No, don't travel nowhere. Where are we at on time, guys? Car's 13 minutes. We still got a few minutes to go. Like, that's not what I'm to press. I think our next thing to do is actually head back to Elden Root. Take a shortcut through here and hit the little tiger. Oh, that's quite a far way down. Oh, that hurt a lot. Oh. Sky Shard. And I went the right way. There's another place over here I haven't been to yet. Also, I forgot to really check. I keep forgetting. Journal, quest, guild. Green Shade. Oh, it's gonna be the next area then. Or one of the other areas. Green Shade's all the way over here. I don't know if that's the next area, but it's another area. Question, is Green Shade where my next contract is in the other book? Marbrook, there it is. Okay, yeah, Green Shade is both my contracts over there. South. Go right and go check out what that other thing is before we head back and finish this out. Head right here. Then right here. Right here. A little further up. I think it's gonna be this entrance right here. Right across from our little vendor, dude. This is like a village up here, but it says it's a ruin. La Loria discovered. Oh, thinking. Okay. Close. Whoa, what's going on there?
Mortal, you stand above
Oh,
the
it's Zora.
sealed ruins of Leloria. Within is a gateway to Cold Harbor, where my priestess, Kulanway, suffers at the hands of Molag Bal.
What are you?
I am the Daedric, Prince
off
of
the
Dawn
prince.
and Dusk, who weeps for Kulanway's suffering. I am the Mother of the Rose, who sealed Leloria away from your world. I am Azura, mortal, and I would have you end Kulanway's endless torment.
How can this one do that?
Long ago, the wizard Vastari came to Leloria. She sought to end Kulanway's suffering, but Vastari failed and was lost. Go to Vastari's tower, retrace her path into Leloria, and mortal, set Kulanway's bones to rest.
This one will.
Vastari kept careful records of her struggle to pierce Leloria's seal. They remain scattered in her tower. Finally, use them to breach the seal and recover Kulanway.
What can you tell this one about Vastari?
A powerful wizard who built the tower behind you. She studied Leloria for years, always patient, until finally she found a way through. But despite her preparations, Molag Bal's servants overwhelmed her companions. She was forever lost.
If you see it, Leloria, why not open it for her?
Leloria is the mouth of a bottle that floats through Cold Harbor. My seal is the cork. Should I release the seal, Molag Bal's servants will pour into Leiloria until they have nowhere else to go but here. Vistari found a way to slip past the seal, as must you.
Who was Kulanwe?
Kulanwe was the most beloved of my servants. Her voice bent the world to her will, yet she used her power for selfless works until she was taken to Cold Harbor. Molag Bal made her song of pain last millennia, but in his distraction, you will recover her.
Sorry about that, fixing my earphones. What could you tell me about... Oh, we already know that one. Okay. We've thrown in questions for Mrs. Zura. Let's get out of here. Search for Loria's ruins. Dead Vinkin. Here. Progress. The tablet was worth the journey to Lorisil. Like many of the relics, the Aelids masked the tablet's secrets, illusionary wards, and destructive traps to make the slightest divination an exercise in mortal danger. That's a concern for myself, of course. The true transcript reads as follows. Ipavoy ananaylina ay pado sunad. Kan an kanamora rakuvarima rakatane va sei irai malatuyinama batus shatari irele asfarilis. I absolutely have no idea what kind of accent aliens had. That was just... I'm assuming alien words. The house is this? Irai is amiable enough. It's cryptic. It was hours before she seemed to comprehend any language but Old Gaelic and Daedric Pidgin. When she finally spoke, she did so with eloquence and a surprisingly cheerful curiosity. According to Irai, she once served Cullenway. She claims the seal upon Lord Laura was placed by Zora herself. While I'm apprehensive about trusting in any Daedra, Queen Twilight such as Irai are known for being servants of Azura. Beyond this, the shrine outside Laura is proof enough that this location is important to the Daedric Prince of Dawn and Dusk. After years of searching, could I finally be within reach of reversing Cullenway's terrible fate? Oh. Okay. Eternal Cullenway. It seems fitting that the servant of the Queen of Dawn and Dusk should try to broker peace between the needs and the Aelids. The realm or between times. Between how long is this? That's long. Let's read that later. Huh. Go upstairs. Entry 2. My translation of the Lord's Soul Tablet is woefully inelegant, but I believe it says the following. Speak, the life treaty of Irai, before the blessed zone. Call the Daedric herald who was cast down. Accept the shadow of Irai. Truth and not truth. Truth comes as water, within many waters. Many waters sounds like an Argonian name. The spidery script upon the tablet seems thicker when you don't look at it directly. I think I'm supposed to say Irai. The tablet pulses with power.
Here again, I mean, yes, mortal? Greetings, outsider. As the will of my prince is eternal, I heed your call.
Who is your prince?
Azura. You know of Azura, don't you? Irai, the fleet, she named me. But that was long ago. This shriveled vessel is but a shadow of my former glory. My wings ache to soar the skies of oblivion once more.
This one's looking for a way into Leloria.
Vistari pierced the seal with a relic known as the Twilight Heart. It still stands before the gates of Leyloria, bereft of magical energies. You'll need to feed its souls, and with all these Daedra about, you'll have no pick.
How could I do that?
The wizard Vastari kept quite the stock of sigil geodes, which I suppose should do. There are still some around. I can smell them from here.
Do you remember Vastari?
Of course. She was the last to summon me. Together we opened the ruins of Leyloria. She ventured in with her noble companions. I watched them die in a flood of Daedra. It was all I could do to escape and seal the ruin. Vastari's final command.
Why are you helping me?
Ignoring the fact that my prince's unbreakable will compels me to open the way to Leyloria, despite the unspeakably bloody terror to greet you on the other side.
Yes.
You could be Molag Bal himself for all I know. I'd still help you open the door, Lord of Brutality or not. You aren't him, are you?
This one is, and I'm very disappointed in you, right?
No, you're not. Not enough horns. And you don't smell of rotten meat. Molag Bal has terrible hygiene. Even a scamp knows that.
Why would you help Molag Bal?
Try waiting in a rock until someone calls your name. Then watch them reduced to a smear of viscera the moment you do what they've asked you to do. You try to find joy, okay? The joy of aiding another, of course.
I like her. Hello, guys.
Here are the sigil geodes. A little quite simple to use. Pointed at the Daedra you want to absorb, and the sigil geode does the rest.
Hey, get lost, guys. I'm trying to do things. Try to kill everybody out here already. Oh, why would I not use the geode? I'll have to use it in Twilight Heart now. Okay, is that it?
That's it! The Twilight Heart thirsts for souls! And if I twist just so... The power! I'd forgotten how it feels! Follow, outsider. Come see my prince's glorious domain.
The throat part. Oh, I can read that. It popped out too quick. Damn, solid say driving its quick loading times. Oh, weird. Where did our little winged friend go?
You live?
Yes, Irai, despite your efforts.
My prince's children were legion. They should have overwhelmed you.
Molag Bal's chattel are nothing to me.
Blasphemy!
Stranger, if you're a foe to Molag Bal, stand with me.
Fools! I'll feast upon your eyes! No! You
nowhere to fly, fiend. You can't escape me.
Where'd she go?
The sigil geode? Do you still have it?
I do. Why?
Touching the sigil geode to Arai's forehead will absorb her soul. It's the only way we'll ever leave this place.
Why is that?
If she dies outside of that stone, we'll spend the next century counting the tiles in this place. I noted 32,708, but you're welcome to check my figures.
That doesn't explain why this one should trap
In the
Arai.
depths of this ruin is a portal leading straight to Cold Harbor. We can only close it from the other side. Once in Cold Harbor, we'll have no hope of escape unless Arai is inside that stone. Quickly! I can't keep this up for long.
Okay.
It doesn't matter what you do to me. You'll be dead or trapped for 1,000 years.
Why would you betray your prince?
Molag Bal is my prince, you fool. I let Vistari believe I was Azura's servant, just as I let you believe. I led you into Cold Harbor's grasp, morsels for the god of schemes to pick from between his teeth.
Goodbye.
At last, after all these years. I'm not one to hope any creature suffers, but with Arai, I'll make an exception. She can spend eternity in the sigil geode for all I care.
Oh, interesting. Oh, watch your head. Why was it so important to trap Arai?
Arai is bound to her tablet. While she's within the sigil geode, we can use her as a tether to escape from Cold Harbor. If I hadn't been so quick to destroy her those years ago, my companions would still be alive. Come, we should retrieve Kulanwe.
Where can we find Kulunwe?
At the base of these ruins is the hole her torment tears between worlds. But the moment we enter, Molag Bal's servants are likely to sense our presence. I'd have long ago made the attempt myself, if I had anywhere to flee.
How can we close the portal?
We must find Kulanwe and free her from whatever cruel device causes her so much pain. Doing so should end her torment. When she no longer cries out, the rift between Cold Harbor and Leiloria should close. I hope.
Let's go.
I kept this library clear of Daedra, but the chambers beyond are home to a variety of the creatures. It may be best to avoid them.
Okay. No, yeah, that's probably not likely. We're probably going to have to kill them all. Where are we going? Can you point me in a better direction? I'm not sure where we're going. The Hippo? The Hippo? Oh, this isn't where we're going. I'm going the wrong way. A bunch of little Bankins, more annoying than worrisome. Not this way. Auras. More bacon. actually gave us a choice to avoid them all, looks like. Reach the portal below. Okay, I guess we're just going in the portal then.
Can you feel her suffering, her agony? For 1,000 years, her pain tunneled through the void, always reaching for her last memories of a life free of suffering. No more!
No more. What are those?
Shatter the soul prisons. They shatter Kulan Way
How can I not hit you? There we go. Wait, try mirror in this one spot. Listen, I can fight you weirdos all day. How long are we gonna do this? Wait, how do I get her down? There's no way up. Also, it's really dark over here. Oh, you're a blaster.
Thank you.
We've done it. We freed Kulanway from her torment. Oh, it was worth the wait.
If the portal is closed, how do we get back?
Irai brought us both through the seal. It's only fitting she bring us back. I can use the sigil geode to trace her soul back, and then it's a simple matter to open a portal. Are you ready?
I am.
Then prepare yourself. Departing Cold Harbor is never easy.
But this one's done it before. Oh.
It is good to stand beneath the sky once more, to feel the breeze upon my skin. And I wouldn't have made it here without you. My home is always open to you, should you care to visit.
How long were you trapped in Leloria?
88 years, 3 months, 11 days, 13 hours, 7 minutes.
That's very precise.
All right, I'm showing off. I used a simple spell to mark the time. It was the first thing I did when I realized I was trapped. It's not entirely precise, so I had to guess the minutes.
What will you do now?
Clear my Tower of Daedra for one. Memorialize my companions who did not return. Organize my effects. Then I'll find out what has transpired in this world since I left. I have some catching up to do.
Your companions?
I opened my home to many I met in my travels. A young Redguard swordsman, a scarred wood elf hunter, a Sijic outcast. I can still hear their voices. But that was 90 years ago. Those not killed by the Daedra must have fled.
Will you be staying at your tower?
For a time, though I expect my attention shall be drawn elsewhere soon enough. There was something different in Cold Harbor. The air was a little too full, the fires too bright.
You speak as if you've been there before.
Molag Bal's Corner of Oblivion holds many secrets. I plundered several from his halls a lifetime ago. Did you know? I did it to impress a boy. What a fool I was.
What the boy is worth traveling to Cold Harbor?
Telekar.
Oh God.
A powerful mage. Brilliant. Always focused upon his work. Hardly striking, though such things never mattered to me. It took my escapade in Cold Harbor to convince him there were adventurous women outside of his books. But that was long ago.
Have you been to the Osseria Telekar then?
I have. Why do you ask?
I found your journal, did we?
Then you know the tale it tells. Did you find anything else?
I met the spirit of your son.
I hoped that wretched thing would fade away. It was a pale shadow of my son, nothing more. Kalian died so long ago, but my husband couldn't put him to rest. You didn't meet my husband, did you?
I freed Kalian's spirit from Telekar.
That makes no sense. An animated shade would have no desire to escape. It would only approximate reason. Tell me, why did it want to escape?
He was afraid Telekar would wake up.
Reason, fear, a sense of self-preservation. No, what have I done? You met Kalian's true spirit. I spurned it, him, as a mockery of my son's memory. Forgive me. I will set this right, but I don't care to speak of it right now.
Interesting. So yeah, if you remember, we met Telekar and her son, and I thought we cleared this place out. I thought that would have got rid of the Daedra. I guess not. In ruins somewhere around here. Somewhere around here? Somewhere in another area? I honestly don't remember where exactly it was. I think it was around here somewhere. I'll start at Telekar. Here we are. And it was the kid. It was the shade with the kid's voice, which is also Timmy Turner's voice. I thought it sounded familiar, and when I was looking up who it was, because it's like the only child voice in this entire game, it ended up being the woman who plays Timmy Turner, who's a famous voice actor, but whose name escapes me right now. Ow! Shoot. The white is still in the center of the shrine, but you feel a sense of anticipation. Place Colonway's bones before Azura.
Kulanway, beloved of the Wild Ones, my priestess returns from the clutches of Cold Harbor at last.
Vestre is here as well.
So I have seen. A mortal has managed what the eternal dead could not.
Is there anything else I can do?
Much when it is time. You have taught humility to a Daedric prince, mortal. Tread carefully, for he will attempt to exact his revenge. Now go with my blessing. When I have need of you, you will know.
Thank you. Okay, that was interesting. I don't have any other blacked out spots here. And it's about 3 o'clock. 3 hours. Let's go finish this up, shall we? In fact, just to speed things along, we'll go ahead and travel here. I've got enough money I can spend out for a little traveling. I was actually kind of reading that. I was unaware that it's a lot of people just huddling around here. While we do this last one, I'm going to try something we haven't tried in a while, just for the heck of it. I can't believe I just ate that, but okay. I'm hitting the wrong buttons all over the time. We give it 10 seconds. Okay.
Is this on straight?
On Street. Where do people recognize half the people walking around here?
This one is being pressured by his family.
Oh, you're the one being pressured into finding love.
You have done what has not been done in centuries. All the parts of the orrery have been placed within the chamber, and Dareneth awaits us below. I must admit to being more than a little excited. I've never seen the orrery operational.
What else remains?
Not much. You've done extraordinary work, and just in time for Queen Iren's arrival.
Oh, I haven't seen her in forever.
Imagine the chance to see the orrery operate. Conservator Dareneth is preparing Queen Iren as we speak.
What's next?
We should really head in there and get started. The ratification ceremony isn't going to perform itself after all. And from what I understand, Conservator Dareneth wanted to speak with you personally.
I'll meet the Conservator in the orrery.
Queen Irene has finally arrived, just in time for the ratification ceremony to begin. I'm sure she will commend you for your efforts.
Don't be a butt prince.
I wonder if the orrery is worth all the fuss. I certainly hope the Queen isn't wasting her time. And yours.
Like you ever cared about my time. Are you still standing up here? Jesus.
I brought Ambassador Tarinway into custody.
What about you?
The orrery is of such importance to Eldenroot. I've heard the story since I was a child, and always wondered what would happen should it be restored. I suppose I'll learn very soon.
Wouldn't it suck if it was like a super weapon that destroyed the entire area of non-plant life? What's this music? Oh. I didn't realize there were giant windows above us. I don't know if I've ever looked up. If I have, I've forgotten. It's so weird shit. Oh, it's like a bulb, like the other houses. It's just up here at the top, I guess, where it bulbs out. Can't really see it below. It's kind of cool though, but I would assume that when it rains in here as well. I wonder. I'll have to test that one day if it's ever raining while I'm around. To the Owlby.
Ozma have a reputation as peerless archers. It's hard to practice as an archer without lingering over you, because there'll always be someone heckling you about it. Hey, you're a Bosma. Shouldn't you already be a master? It's foolish.
Oh, right. Clothes.
Is this the tallest tree in all of Tamriel? Probably all of Nirn, come to think of it. There's a correlation between distance from Morrowind and probability someone will be more open when talking to me, I've noticed. I blame the Telvanni. People were fairly cold in Black Marsh and Anakina. Here, people have been more friendly.
Okay, Dunmer over here. I have to be like pretty surprised.
God, over here. There's a criminal in our midst.
What are you doing? Okay, let's tie our equipment real quick before we head on. Nice. Oh, voice was died. In all black once again. Much better. Inventory. 470, about typical. We heading back out then? We came back in to the throne room to head back out.
You do not want to cross me.
What's that all about? Did not want to cross me.
My favorite thing about the Elden Tree is the gardens.
Oh, you're the garden lady. That's right. I talked to you a long time ago. Did anybody reply to my request? Nope. I didn't pay attention. My neck is broken though, by the looks of it. Heading around and up, it looks like. That was one of the talents. Didn't even question me because I'm one of the eyes. It's interesting, this one, you're part of like the actual government. or group that works for the government. The other two, you're not in any kind of high position like that. Just trusted by some of the people, but you're not like commander, you're not a spy. This one, you and Raz are in the spy groups. Rather than a soldier. Soldiers.
Preposterous! I'm an Aldmeri Vicereeve, an assistant to Prince Naemon himself. Why am I barred from the ceremony?
The orrery hasn't been activated in a millennia. It might work splendidly,
How about we?
yes.
Sorry, I'm not going to get over the RWs.
But I'll speak with Darrenet if you insist on being present.
Upon consideration, I suppose I could wait by the door to call for help, should anything go wrong.
I must thank you for the opportunity to see the orrery operate as it did in ancient times. It's all so exciting.
There won't be much to see, I'm sure. The Aelids were notorious for their glowing crystals, so I suppose there will be more than a few bright lights. Sounds quite dreary. I can't imagine it will be worth your time at all.
Weren't they also known for great magics?
Little brother, you shouldn't be here for this. Darreneth warned us of the dangers.
I won't turn my back on family. My place is in your shadow, as it has always been.
I know this can't be easy for you.
On the contrary, today the Dominion shall see why a High Elf is fit to lead all of Tamriel.
I used to despise your certainty, but today it's reassuring, oddly enough.
Apology accepted.
Okay.
An Aeliad artifact supposedly touched by the gods will proclaim my sister worthy of becoming the Empress of Tamriel. But this changes little. There are those who will always question her right to rule.
Prince Naemon says you're to thank for ensuring the ratification ceremony will happen without delay.
It was no trouble, Your Majesty.
Nonsense. It was a great deal of trouble. It's not something one forgets, especially when one's a queen.
She's so, like, normal.
I'll make sure everyone clears out, as you requested. But you don't need to be here, Your Highness.
I used to sneak in here as a child and climb through the orrery's rungs. Do you think I'd pass up on the chance to see what it actually does? But have no fear. I want you at the outer door.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I won't let you down.
You never do.
I guess if it blows up, we're gonna have a few kings and queens to replace. And me.
How exciting! The orrery's done nothing but spin for generations. To think, I'll be the king who sees it work again.
Cool. Still spinning. Oh, Darrenet from, I believe, our trip to the southwestern corner with a certain mad god.
Strange to see you after South Point.
South
Not
Point is it?
bad, just strange. But no matter. I can hardly believe we're about to breathe some life into this old girl. And before you ask, yes, I'm speaking of the orrery.
Are you ready to begin?
Almost. You recovered the pieces needed for the orrery's activation, so it's only fair you're here to put them in place. So, I should be the one to ask. Are you ready?
This one is ready.
Good. The first thing you'll need is to take up Rachin's mantle. A god's hands move the orrery, goes the translation. But that's a load of horse-luck. You simply need to be in 3 places at once. Rachin's mantle should allow for that.
Is it safe? Rajin's mantle drove General and mad.
Oh, you'll be all right. That overly earnest fellow from the Mages Guild. Raylor, was it? He assured me you'd be safe if you wore it for no longer than 90 minutes. Or was it 9? No matter. The ceremony will take 5 minutes. Maybe 6.
Alright, give this one Rajin's mantle.
Approach the pillars beyond the orrery itself. You must activate each in turn while keeping one thought in mind. When you wear Rachin's mantle, you'll never be held in place. From what I understand, it should do the rest.
So this pile of moss and rubble determines the next emperor?
The orrery is ancient. Show some respect.
Nearly there, Your Majesties, Your Highness. That's it. It's working. It's actually working.
What's the name?
Here, take hold of the heart of a numeral. Place it in the pillar next to our royal observers. That should do it.
Do what exactly?
Awaken the orrery, whatever that truly means. But have no fear. This contrivance allows me to manipulate its energies. This means I can keep Queen Irene safe when she steps inside. Now go. Place the heart of a numeral. Let's see what all the fuss is about.
Steps inside.
And now the Ayleid death trap will tell us if we have an emperor in our midst. Truly a momentous day.
Naaman, now is not the time.
Irene, there's always time to protect you from yourself.
Huh? What? Am I out? I'm out.
For how could I let you risk your life in this contraption without testing it first, dear sister?
When you wear Rachin's mantle, you'll never be held in place.
It's incredible! I can see the white old tower! No! What's happening to me?
Uh-oh. Oh, you're huge.
I'll kill you all!
Oh, throw up on your sister, you weird.
The tower is fading.
Naaman, what were you thinking?
The frick. He turned into something ugly. I'm not sure you want to stand in there.
No, I'm all right. You saved Queen Irene's life by killing her brother. You should probably speak with her on the matter.
Do you think?
Why?
This one had little choice, Your Majesty.
What? No, Why would Naaman do this? I made him a part of what we were building. Tried to show him this is about more than just our people. I would have all of Tamriel be our people.
What did the Ore do to him?
What the legend says. It revealed the person within. As it will do to me.
What do you mean?
Do you think I have a choice in this? I will enter the orrery as I swore to the people of the Aldmeri Dominion. I must learn whether I'm fit to lead them. And if I'm not...
Yes, Your Majesty.
If I'm changed, as my brother was, I can't become a danger to the people I've sworn to lead. Do you understand me?
This one is of the Black Hand, Your Majesty.
I must not delay.
Okay. That's different. Huh, it's normal, I think.
I'm myself, aren't I?
It appears so, Your Majesty. What did you see in the Ore?
A dominion of peace. The fair and just rule of Tamriel, beneath an old Mary banner. A future I hope to build. And you, standing at my side. Come, help me build the future.
I get Archie's diminished mantle as...
I don't intend to tell
Lord.
anyone what my brother did. As far as I'm concerned, he died trying to help me, not usurp my throne.
What no?
The staff of Magnus.
Excuse me? Okay, just for people who don't know, Magnus is the god of magic. He's the god who tore a hole through oblivion when they were escaping so large he made the sun. And then, you know him probably best as the creator or holder or whatever of the Eye of Magnus back in Skyrim, in the future technically. The Staff of Magnus may have been in a few Elder Scrolls. I'm not sure. What do you mean? What is the Staff of Magnus?
A powerful object with the ability to suppress magic. Dangerous were it to fall into the wrong hands. Luckily, we already possess it. Go to Marbrook in Eastern Greenshade. Speak to Captain Sarandel about securing the staff. I'll follow soon after.
I'll secure the staff, Your Highness.
We heard sounds of battle. What happened?
There was an accident. My brother gave his life to protect us. He died a hero.
I don't...
I will soon go to Marbrook. Viceroy Peladil, I want you to travel ahead with my brother's body. You will make the funeral arrangements.
Yes. Yes, Your Majesty. I understand.
Spare no expense for his funeral. All in the Dominion are welcome. All may pay their respects to a hero.
He probably doesn't understand because he's his lapdog. If your brother was part of the Bell inheritance along with his wife, so was he. He'd be like the last one. Hello.
I don't intend to tell anyone what...
You stay right in front of him. Also, I don't know why you backed off.
What happened to Prince Naaman was a tragedy. I hope that sounds believable. I'll be saying it for the rest of my days.
I had my doubts about Queen Irene. Not after today. Travel well, my friend.
A little magic makes the mage believe. Ah, I guess we're done here.
Is this really happening?
I don't know what you mean.
You must have seen. You arrived near the end of it.
The Queen says her brother died a hero, so that's what I saw.
Do all you Vine Dusk Rangers learn to ignore the truth?
We learn that leadership is messy. And because royalty must grieve in public, we learn not to judge.
Perhaps you're right.
I don't want to think of the outcome had you not been here. You kept the king safe. You will always be welcome among the Vine Dusk Rangers.
No problem, no. That's actually pretty cool. The stars and everything there. Cool. Okay, this should bring our evening to an end. I do believe that when we come back to the Dominion... Let's get out of here, actually, before I take off. I do believe when we come back to the Dominion, we'll be heading out, actually. I'm not sure to where. Since both of my assassin contracts take me to Greenshade, I hope it's Greenshade. God, is this long to get all the way down here? For like 10 minutes to exit this place. The region in the southern heart of Wood Elf's Great Forest, home to more of the gigantic Grath Oaks than any part of Valenwood. Its capital, now the capital of the Aldmeri Dominion, is Eldmoot. Okay, guys, we are done for the evening. Have we reached the hours? I think we are past it, probably. Past the hours by a bit. Soak in Eldenroot as y'all will. This will be our final night in the area. Our final night in Craftwood. I don't think there's anything we've missed here. It looks like we've pretty much covered the area. From the top to the bottom. Something up here, but I think that was just the area where I was when I was doing the missions. Something right here, actually. These two things were missed, so when I come back we may hit these two. But other than that, the Staff of Magnus in Greenshade. It looks like that we'll be heading to Greenshade next for our missions. Contract. And that's just contract. Doesn't say anything else here. Magnus somewhere in here, it says. We'll figure it out when we head in. This place looks absolutely gigantic. Wait a minute. Go back to there. There was something in Greenshade. Ooh, and this is where we can actually start these thieves quests too. So we'll have both of our guilds going. Cool. Is Arkajit's meant to be a thief, an assassin, and a vampire? Coolio. So next time we come back in, we'll check out this little area up here we may have missed. I don't know. And then we'll head out to Greenshade. And we'll be saying, well, I am assuming we're saying goodbye to the rainforest. I actually don't know what Greenshade's like. I think it may be more plains, but it may be more rainforest. A lot of wood elf areas are wood rainforests. But anyway, let's see. We will be coming back tomorrow to play. We'll be playing some Fortnite tomorrow, midday, give or take, after all my appointments that I have. Hold on, I'm looking to see if I can see next week's schedule too. Nope, can't see next week's schedule yet. So all I know is that I had tomorrow off. About midday we may come in from Fortnite, as long as we don't have anything else going on at the time. But other than that, that's it for the night. I will see y'all later. Peace and out, guys.